hear me, guys? Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Just a minute. Okay.
Uh, your
Uh, s-
your voice is not clear.
yes, I'm just a minute. Now is it clear? Yes.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, don't worry. It will be alright in some time. Okay.
Okay.
Um, I want other people like Pavan. Pavan, can you join at 2 o'clock? Is it possible for you? Yes, Pavan. Hello. Pavan, can you join at 2 o'clock? Yes. Hello, Pavan. Am I audible to all?
Yes.
Okay. So I would request Pavan to join at 2 o'clock. Okay. Other than these people, those who are there online. Okay. I just want Pavan to exit. Okay. And this person, David Raj, needs to join. Okay. Okay, is my camera visible? Am I visible? Yeah, yeah. I'm visible now, I suppose. Okay. Today the arrangement of my laptop is not great. Let you just give me a minute. I'll get it done. Okay. I suppose this should work. Maybe. Okay. So what I want to say here is that today we are going to concentrate on so I we have chosen 5 people. Okay, so for those 5 people you must have received the email wherein you are supposed to be connected to this guidance to for 1 hour guidance that I am going to give you, and then later you have your interview. Okay, a mock interview with one of my seniors. Okay, so you must be knowing him. He's the technical head. So he will be drilling you down for the concepts. So I have already asked you guys to get a thorough knowledge of everything, right? So did you go through the core Java concepts, because he is going to drill down to that level? Are you guys ready for that? Yes. I want all of you to switch on your camera because I still cannot see people around. Yes. Nandita, can you switch on your camera? How are you? You good?
Yes, ma'am.
Renuka? Not Renuka, sorry Renuka. Nandita, you good? Can you switch on your camera?
Uh,
Nandita, make sure that your camera is fine and your, what do you call this? Your microphone is audible, because whenever you talk, it's not clear to us what you are trying to talk. Okay, so just make sure it is clear to us.
okay,
Okay?
ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so switch on your camera first. Okay, so we'll start with today's session. Like I've told you before, I will be drilling you down. I'll be asking you questions on core Java. Okay, that basically, now that part will be done by Vimal sir. So you'll have to be prepared. Make sure that you are prepared. Okay, I will be starting with enterprise Java now. Okay, now what is that enterprise Java all about? It consists of concepts, okay, concepts such as JDBC, web development, servlets, okay. So JDBC came here. We'll see how this program works, how you can code using JDBC when it is with core Java or when it is with servlet. All the programs are readily available on the internet. Okay, mind you guys, everything is there on the internet. You just need to filter out what is correct for you. Okay, you just need to find out, or you just need to create which is correct for you. If I give you a particular program and you just what do you call uh, just mug just by heart it is not going to be helpful for you. So you should be knowing the approach which is followed. Okay, once the approach is understood, then you can work along and get the output. So that is the fundamental, that is what we are looking for. You need to work at your end a lot. Okay, a lot is required, so that whenever there's an interview next week, you are prepared for the same. It implies for all of you. Okay, am I clear to all?
Yes.
Banka, you need to switch on your laptop, your camera. Ravi, Banka, can you switch on your laptop? Okay, never mind. Okay, so shall we start? Okay, Core
Yes.
Java is clear, right? Anything that you wish to ask with respect to Core Java? Anything that you want? Because the questionnaires that I've given you is again only that might be asked. It is not going to be exactly that I've given you a question bank. Okay, they can ask you anything. The only way in which you can pass out, or in which you can get through this level, is by doing by searching or by researching at your end. You should be knowing the concept. Okay, let me be very frank at this point of time that I have found out this David Raj, who's absent right now, um, this Banka and Venkana. These 3 people are quite sound with this terminologies, with the technologies, but you are not great. Okay, you guys are not great. Still, you need to achieve that greatness while you are learning all those concepts. You have the understanding, that is the best thing required. Okay, now you just have to, push yourself more to get through it. You get my point?
Yes.
Yes, Venkana and Banka. Talking about Nandita and Shubham. Okay, you guys need to work hard at your end. I know, Nandita, that you try to, convey me the answers, but it is quite difficult for me to understand what you're talking at your end. So you will have to get that correct. Okay, make it simple. Okay, make it simple for people to understand what you want to convey to them. Shubham, again, even you know the concept, but you just, roam around the concept while explaining it. Okay, you don't have to
Okay.
do that. Be to the point. Try to stick to the point. Okay, the basic that I want to say here is that you don't have to pretend to talk in English. Okay, if you think that I need to talk in English and before I need to frame that into my head, it won't happen. Okay, the reason I'm saying is that, see, if I need to talk to a person who is not with what is my native language, I talk in either Hindi or English, right? And if I have to talk in some other XYZ language, I first need to frame in my head. So that is actually taking a lot of time in my head to process the statement. And then when it comes out of my mouth, it is awkward. It is not correct. So just go with the flow. Okay? Just talk. Just think that you know the language and then you talk it out. You know what are the basics of those languages. You know how to talk in English. You just have to take it out. Is that clear to all?
Okay.
Yes? Great. So the fluency is required. We are not going to go too much into fluency, but it is going to make a good impression again. Okay, just be fluent, be smiling every time. Not every time, it will look very odd, but have a decent, good face. Okay, and make sure you are in a good light. Okay, you should be visible. Like I cannot see Banka still; he is in a very dark area, I suppose. So make sure, or maybe just have a flashlight on to you so that you're visible to the candidate. Always have an eye contact. So whenever I'm talking right now here, I can just look into the camera or just look into the screen wherein I am very much connected to people I'm talking to. Okay, connect to the person where you are, whom you are talking to. Make sure that you don't bore them. After 2 hours, after 1.5 hours, all of you guys are just roaming. Your brain does not work. It is a human tendency. Okay, but you have to make sure that at least that 1.5 hour is yours. I make sure that that 1.5 hour is mine, that you need to connect to me, that you need to concentrate with me and coordinate along with it. Okay,
Okay.
so we shall start. Okay, now the reason I just want 5 people is because we are going to go for next 5 modules now. Okay, you'll be having your mock interviews based on first 5 modules. Okay, the first module was basics of Java. Second module was um, SQL. Third, HTML, CSS. Fourth, JavaScript, and fifth is OOP Java. So you need to be good with all these languages. Do you have anything that you wish to ask me? Because SQL, HTML, CSS is, it is the basic required. Being a developer, you don't need to be very thorough with your designing concepts. Okay, designing concept requires you to know HTML5, CSS3, okay, and all hardcore concepts which is there into the market. But here you need to know how form tag works. You need to know how the hyperlinks work. You need to know how tables are formed. You need to know how CSS can be applied to the same. You need to know when a link is clicked, whether it should call a JavaScript function or it should go to the backend programming that you have written using Servlet. You get the point? These basics are important to be understood. Okay, how many of you know how Servlet works or what is a Servlet programming? Any one of you? You know what is Servlet? Do you know how Servlet works? No? Nobody?
Tablet is a technology which is used to run the program of web browser.
Run the program on the web browser, correct. Okay, but okay, so you know what is Servlet, right? Great. What about Others. It is only Shubham. Anybody else who knows Enterprise Java? Nandita, do you know Enterprise Java? Banka, you know servlets, right? Servlets and Spring.
Yes, ma'am, I know, but
Yes.
I'm not fluent for.
Because at the end of the day, it is not servlet that we are going to work with, but internally everything is in a servlet instance. So you need to know about that. How about you, Venkanna? Do you know Enterprise Java?
No, how I know about how Spring works, but I don't know what exactly the servlet is.
You have not done any kind of programming before?
No.
Okay, no issues. Yes, David, you're always late. Okay, you
Yeah,
seem to
sorry,
be
ma'am.
a chief
Actually,
guest again.
no, ma'am. Actually, they have some network issues. So yeah,
Okay, so do you know servlet programming, servlet enterprise Java? Do you know about that?
yeah. I have a little bit idea of servlets, ma'am. Yeah.
And Spring?
So you mean servlet?
I mean Spring.
Okay, you mean Spring? Okay. Yeah, ma'am. I have a little bit of Spring also, ma'am.
Okay, great. So we are good here. Okay, so if you don't know it, now this is the high time to start. Okay, I see. So we are on horses now. We need to be very quick with understanding any concept. So I would recommend all of you to follow Java 2.0. Okay. Now, why am I saying that? Because it has got very crisp, very on to the point examples that is going to help you to crack your interviews, to understand a particular concept. Okay. Apart from that, you can also go for tutorials point. You can also go for Java web tutors, geeks for geeks, and there how to code Java, and there are many. Okay, I'll give you the site names, and then you can refer to them. So you can choose which one is easier for you. I'll give you the basic ideology how it works, and then you choose at your end which one is better for you. Okay, they are going to see your approach. That is the reason why I'm asking you to research on your approach and come up with a solution. Okay, so let's share my screen. Okay, just a minute, I need to get one concept here. Okay. Okay, I will be giving you the topics on which you can prepare and get a handhold on the same. Okay, so you just be thorough with those concepts, and those concepts are eventually going to have the concepts which will be asked in the questions. Okay, so we shall go in that direction. Before that, I want you all to, Sirisha, can you join at 2 o'clock? Yeah, is it possible for you to join at 2? Yeah, okay. Join the same link, I suppose, or it is going to be a different one. Join the same link at 2 o'clock. Okay,
Okay.
great. Okay, I was talking about what I was talking about. I was saying,
Concepts.
About some concepts that
I
you'll be
was saying
giving.
about something. Yeah, the concepts that is going to help you to crack the interview. Okay, so any which ways, I have showed you the sheet, so I will be sharing you the sheet again. Okay, and we'll be adding up. If you want, you can add up as per your understanding. So we have seen this already. So your interview module, this is for your first thing. So I am assuming that all of you, okay, all of you know the first 5 modules. Yes?
Yes.
Am I clear?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, everybody. Okay, even a 90% is good to go. Yes, 90%.
Java,
Yes.
Yes.
JavaScript,
Yeah,
don't
yes,
know.
ma'am.
JavaScript, I said it is the basics, right? You just follow what is there on the LMS, you're good to go. Did you guys follow the LMS videos? Yes, Venkana, did you ever watch the video?
I didn't start at JavaScript concept.
Please do it. Okay, before the actual interview, you just make sure that you have been through all the LMS videos, because those are curated ones. Curated as in those are just filtered, and you are getting the exact things required from your interview perspective. Because when you go and search on the internet or on YouTube for a particular concept, you might be getting thousands of them. So the ones which are given to you is the one required for you to clear out the interview. So just make sure you go through them at least once. Okay. And if you have any doubt with them, you can ask me, and please let me know which video it is to be very precise, and then we can go ahead with the same. Okay, because the JavaScript concept consists of one of the concept called XML HTTP request. Now that is an object which helps you to achieve Ajax programming, which is used for single page application. Can anybody tell me what is a single page application?
Yeah, so
Anybody?
single page application. I think single page application is something like, there will be no pages, only one page. So only the content will be changed in
Example
the
Gmail,
page.
I think. Example Gmail.
Yes, but yeah, both of you are correct. And let one finish so the other one can start. Okay. Every time, make sure that you give time for the others to speak. Okay. You can raise your hand. I can see your hands, and we can go ahead. Okay. Great.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
I was
it
saying
is
that.
used. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
heard
was
you. You
saying
were
that.
correct.
Okay,
Yes, it
thank you.
is. Yeah, it is a single thing, and then it is just single page, and you have got the content loading on it again and again, different contents loading onto it. Okay, so that is done using this. Ajax can be done using JavaScript or jQuery. Okay, jQuery. So like I've told you before, we are going to be more towards the backend development. Okay, so we will be focusing on programmings rather than scriptings. Okay, but you should be knowing how they work. You should be knowing at least how to code a single page application. In fact, I have given you some examples. Okay, so if you guys can, they are very trivial questions, quiz questions on your what do you call this, LMS. Okay, so just make sure you complete all the quizzes there, tests. If you're done, well and good. So you have for SQL and also for HTML and JavaScript. So four modules. These things are already uploaded. You just have to appear for them and check how this works. So there's a use case scenario, which assignments which I have given you. So you can think, and then so this is what is there. It is asked on the at the client side. Basically, a client is going to have a request. Okay, he is going to have a project wherein you need to create a management system. Okay, let's say for example, if I talk about the same organization, Million Lights. Okay, this is a talent acquisition thing. Okay, let's say for example, it is a talent acquisition organization. So a talent acquisition is a thing. It is a middleman between the company, okay, where the people are required to work as a developer or as a personnel, okay, into a project. And the second deal, that is you. Okay, so they are an intermediary. They help you skill or polish your skills, fill in the gap, and then you go ahead with your interview process and be hired for that organization. Do you understand? So, what is required if you think from this perspective? What is required here? You need to understand the system. You need to understand the flow of the system. You need to understand what is the development stage or what is the SDLC to be followed. Do you know what is SDLC? Yes? DevOps.
Software
Yes,
development
madam.
lifecycle.
Software.
Yeah.
Software development
System.
life cycle.
Life
It is
cycle.
the life cycle which you follow. Okay, so there are 6 to 7 stages that you need to know. So when I say stage, why 6 to 7? Because different websites, different blogs talking different terms. So if you go by a textbook, it is going to be 6. If you go by some researchers or some people who has given some recent blog onto this technology, then they're going to have some different approach in which based on their experience they have written it. Okay, so you need to make sure that you know what is currently into the market, what was in the past and what is there today. Okay, you need to be with the technology. For that, you need to know what is there today into the technology. Can you tell me which is the famous SDLC which is followed by major organization for their development, for website
Agile.
development?
Agile.
Agile,
Perfect, so you know about it. Yes, agile is the thing. Yes, which is the least used one?
Waterfall.
waterfall model, maybe.
Perfect,
That is actually
you know
outdated.
about it. Yes, what are the other types?
Scrum.
Scrum is within your agile,
Agile.
Agile.
so it is.
Yes.
That is
Yeah,
belong
so
to Agile, actually.
yes. So prototype, spiral, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Spiral. Yes, yes. Yes, ma'am.
Those
Sorry.
are the trivial ones. Though when I was in college, I used to learn all those things. Basically, when I did my graduation, in post graduation, I was to a whole different level. Okay, things were very different in there. Okay, so I had in graduation we have learned about systems, okay, mobile systems or simple systems, how database systems work. But in the masters, I was having distributed system, I was having data warehouse instead of database. I was learning database, data warehouse, data mining. So these concepts, they are huge. Okay, so you should be aware about these terms, what all these terminologies are. You should be knowing it. Okay, it is not like if you are an electric engineer, you should not know how a bulb cannot be changed. You should be knowing it. It's not that you have learned on your in your book that the current flow of color current is electrons, and if you touch the bulb so happens. And I'm not good at physics, I'm just talking. Okay, so you should be knowing, you should be knowing everything about your computer, how to repair it as well on your own. If something goes off, if the blue screen appears, if anything comes into the picture, you should be an all-rounder. You should be the master of your computer, in short. Okay, so it includes everything. Being in IT, don't be stressed. I know everything. This has come out of experience. So why am I saying that? So just don't stress. Nandita, can you hear me? She's freezed. Hello. Okay, never mind. Okay, so just be an all-rounder. That is what I'm saying in IT. Okay, so moving on to the topic where I was. Next is this, because I think you know a good amount of the topic of first 5 modules. We are moving on to the next 5 module, which you can see in there: Enterprise Java, Spring Boot, JPA, testing, quality, and DevOps. Okay. So if I tell you, if we talk about Enterprise Java, okay, it includes JDBC. We have seen this already, right? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so JDBC consists of all these things. So you should, if I say my database is MySQL database, sorry, database, then I need to know the driver, the URL, okay, the username and the password. These are the 4 things which are required, which are supposed to be by hearted by me. Yes, and this is by hearting. Why? Because you should be knowing how it is to be written. Okay, thus the syntax, how it is supposed to be. So make sure you know exactly which one is smaller. So driver D is capital. Don't make it small. So it is going, lowercase. It is going to give you an error. All the slashes, all the colons are supposed to be exactly the same. So this might be different. You can write localhost and skip this part. If you know that it is going to be on 3306, it is the port number which is occupied by your MySQL. So you can just keep it this way. The other thing which you have in here is your database name. Yes, it depends on what database you have created in MySQL. You're going to put that name in there. Okay, other thing which you have, if you're working with a local host MySQL, the one which has been installed on your computer, your username is always going to be root. Yes, Panka?
Yes.
What is the password for your MySQL?
It's
Yes, Manka?
Sensi. It is Sensi, ma'am. CNSI.
Okay, I was not asking you that. I was just checking whether you're there online because your camera is off again.
Yeah, I don't know, ma'am, what is the issue is going on. So my
It,
internet is
it
getting
may be
low.
it must be the internet. Don't worry about that. Okay? That's okay. Okay, so for me the password is root. So this is something which you set while at the time of installation. Okay, so everybody, are you aware about how to install MySQL, or do you have it into your system? Everybody has it,
Yeah, we
right?
are having, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, we having.
Great. So that is not an issue. Okay, great. Okay. So these are the 5 steps which people follow. Again, people say it is 5 step or 6 step. Okay. So if you can see it, the first step is to identify and register the database driver. Okay, why I need to identify it depends. I can have more than one database server onto my system. If I'm working with an organization, it depends which the project requires which database and you're working with which. So you need to identify the driver, okay, and then you need to use it in here. Register it. Registering requires you to write it in this format, that is class. Class is a class in Java. Object is a class in Java. Object is present in which package?
Lang package.
Object lang package. And class is present in which package?
Lang package.
Lang. Are you sure?
Yeah, because
Yes, Nandita?
Till, ma'am. Util package.
Util. Are you sure?
Class
We
is a
special
keyword,
just
right?
don't give reads. Class is a class. Keywords are always smaller case, like int, void, if.
Oh,
They're always
sorry,
going to be in smaller case.
you're talking about this class.
I'm talking about class, the one which has been highlighted. Class.
Okay.
I think it should be there in class lang package only, ma'am, because we are using class and method. They will also having a method also as a class. So I think we'll have to compiler should be able to identify what is that if is that method also. Then I think these should be class and
Okay.
methods. Objects should be coming up, while loading. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so one quick question. Can you tell me what is the package required for JDBC programming? Yes, name of the package.
SQL.
Huh?
Java X dot Java dot SQL. SQL.
Deepika, can you join at 2 o'clock? Is it possible for you to join at 2? Yes, Deepika? Can you hear me, Deepika? Can you join at 2 o'clock? Please be there too. Because right now we are doing another topic and you might not be able to get through it. Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I'm
Okay,
in a
great.
college now, so it became late.
That's okay. You can join at 2, right? That's not an issue. I just want your presence. That's it. You need to just switch on your camera and be there online. I don't want anything else.
Okay.
Yes? Great. You can join later. You can leave.
It should be java.sql for the package.
Java X or Java?
Java.sql.
Java
Java
X. Deepika, you
Java
need to leave.
X. I think JDBC is part of Java SC, ma'am. So Java X is Enterprise Edition, I guess. It should be
Are you
java.sql.
sure?
Yes, ma'am. I
Deepika, you
think
won't
I have
understand the
imported.
thing.
It's
Sure?
java.sql, ma'am. Yeah.
Java.sql. Okay,
I
how
mean,
about Java X.mysql? Do you know there's a
Java.
package called as MySQL as well?
I don't know about MySQL, ma'am. I know only about java.sql.
Okay, let me tell you, there's one more package. Let me give you, Deepika, you can join later. Com.mysql. It's not com, it's not this, it is com.mysql. Okay, you never use it, okay, because it has got some other, it is basically used for advanced versions. Okay, this is with MySQL, com.mysql, so there are different packages required. The other one is java.sql. Okay,
com.mysql.jdbc. Okay.
yes.
So this is only for the, I think this is from driver, I think, ma'am.
Ma'am,
com.mysql.cj.jdbc.
Yes,
This, I
yes.
mean, it is, but
Yes,
java.sql
it
is
is the
what the main thing you should be implementing, because
yeah,
statement, prepared
java.sql is
statement, all
something.
that.
There is also something called as just a minute, com.mysql. There's a package.
Yeah, ma'am. That is package, but out of my knowledge, I can say that first we have to import java.sql first. So then com.mysql.cj.jdbc is from the driver side, because we are having interfaces like statement, prepared statement. Those are interfaces coming from the java.sql.
Of
So
course, I'm just talking
implementation.
about the package. Chill. I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
ma'am,
There's also
actually,
Java
com.mysql,
Express. Sorry,
ma'am, actually,
somebody
com.mysql
said
is a class name, right, ma'am? To
no. It is the
identify.
URL, the driver registering URL. I'll get you the name later when we are working with it. You will see that as well. I'm not getting it right now. Deepika, can you join at 2 o'clock?
Ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Thank you. Yeah, you need to leave now.
Can I leave now?
Yes,
Okay,
please.
ma'am.
Okay. So here you specify that. Then after registering and identifying, you need to create and open the connection. If you're working with the other framework, that is a .NET framework, if you know about that, then you need to create the connection and then you need to open it as well. But here you don't need to open. Once you create it, it is automatically going to open the channel between your Java program and the database. Okay. So for opening that, you would require three things. It is a combination of three things. This get connection method, which is a method of connection. Okay, this requires three things, that is URL, okay, username and password. These are the three things required for this. Next, you have create the SQL query or statement. So now you have got two options that you can use. Either you can use statement or you can use prepared statement. Do you know the significance of each one of them? When to use what? Yes, when do you use statement and when do you use prepared statement?
Yes, ma'am. Prepared statement is used when we don't know the input values. Input values are, if when your input values are given by the user, so then you can go for prepared statement. Yeah. If you know the values, you
Correct.
can directly use statement.
And also, when we are going to
Basically,
work with, and we also when we are going to work with multiple queries, so we prefer for prepared statement. Why? Because when we deal with multiple queries, statement will take a lot of time to execute this code. So that is the reason why we use a prepared statement.
okay. Let's say the basic reason for us to have these two different types of statement, these two different types of interfaces to create a statement is because, let's say for example, I have a query, select the column name, let's say name comma year, employee ID from employee, okay, and then semicolon. This is just the query which I have. I don't have anything else. Okay, this is what the query is and it should give me an output. Okay, so simple, nothing. I'm not in, I'm not having any user input to be attached with this. So it is going to be a very simple query for me. Okay, if I am writing a query wherein the statement is select employee ID comma name from employee, where employee ID is, or let's say employee location is XYZ. So I know XYZ is going to be fixed. So even then, this statement is going to be fine. But this XYZ value is supposed to be obtained from the user. Okay. If you need to get this XYZ value from the user, then you will have to concatenate. Okay, you can do that, or you can get it using prepared statement. You can prepare a statement. At that point of time, if you want to customize your query, then you make use of prepared statement. Do you understand this? For customizing prepared statement, for using the basic ones, there's going to be a static query, then you make use of statement. Okay, so now, based on the thing that you're working with, let's say if you're executing the query, if you are doing a select operation, the select is always going to give you a result set. Hence, it has to be fetched inside result set interface object reference. Okay, and then you have, let's say, if you're doing insert, update, delete, then you make use of, uh, it has to be obtained, or the value is going to be retained, like a row has been affected. If a row is affected, it is going to give you integer value greater than 0. That means it is going to give you either 1, more than 1, basically. You understand the point? Yes.
Yes.
If by any chance you don't understand the thing, you can let me know. Any which ways, I'm going to show you the code. Okay, and then you have to close the connection. You can have this into your finally block. Okay, always when you're doing a database programming, you need to write this inside try and catch block. Yes, any specific reason why?
Yeah, because we may get
Yes.
exceptions right now. We may get some
What?
exceptions. We may get some exceptions
Yes,
while
of
because we are
course.
connecting.
Because we are working with an external resource, we need to be very sure that all the exception that might be encountered while doing the programming, it has to be handled. Okay, that is the reason why we make use of try and catch. Is there any other way in which I can handle the exception except for using try, catch, and finally?
We can throw that exception.
Yes, sorry,
At the
you can do
class,
what?
at the method signature, we can throw that exception, that
Yes,
particular
correct.
exception.
We can postpone, yes, we can postpone the exception to the parent class, and I don't need to worry about it. JVM is going to do the handling of the exceptions. Yes? Do I make sense?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
people.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So
But
you
how the
shouldn't be
connections
throwing
are
some.
closed, madam? If we are throwing the exceptions, how the connections are closed?
Just write at the end of the statement. Throw the so close the connection, cannot close. It will just finish up your task and do it. Any which ways it is going to be handled, right? It is just a statement to be executed. If an error occurs, if an exception occurs, only then it has to be handled. Otherwise, it is going to work as a normal program. Do you get the point? Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
these are the things which you have. We have seen this already. Let me show you one program. Okay, and then one program as in a simple program that I was having. I'll show you that. Where is the program? Okay. There's not much to understand. Okay, I have done it using swing, so it will be a bit tricky. Let's not do this. I'll show
Ma'am,
you
one
from the
question,
internet.
ma'am.
Yes.
So, like with the result set, ma'am. Actually, if you are updating or deleting or inserting the records, are we going to get the number of records affected as a result of the resulted? Yeah, if it is
Number
going
of
to
rows, number of
two,
records affected.
okay, is it going to like two records are affected? It is going to return two, right?
It is going to give you any number greater than 2. So we need to go if greater than 0. Okay, because initially if nothing is happening into the database, it is going to give you 0. It is going to return you 0. When it will
Okay.
happen is, so when you're working with this while executing the query, okay, result set, you make use of the method called as execute
Execute.
query. So this particular method is going to execute the query which you have. Okay, and you can get the value inside result set object reference. Now this particular thing returns you result set. This method returns you the output as returns result set. Okay, whereas if you talk about this returns you, this is execute update. This method returns you integer value. So you're updating. At the end, you are inserting or deleting or updating. So in that case, it is going to give you an integer value. So it basically checks on the number of rows which has been affected. So we take in the term, if it is going to be greater than 0, that means the operation is successful. Okay, so if there are chances that if the operation is not happening and there's an error, that will be coming as an exception to you. Okay, you can see it into your bar. Okay, in your that is the reason why we need to handle, right? If there's an error, like if the first query executed and the second one was showing an issue while connecting to the database, or maybe there was some issue with it, so it was going to show you, but it is going to be greater than 0 if either of the query executes. So you cannot get the number, but yes, it is going to be greater than 0. You get the point? I'm not fixating on the term to on the number 2, because there are chances that it might happen or it might not. Okay,
Okay.
so we're good. Yes, David, or confused? Well, it's very difficult for me to hear to you when you are on mute.
No, no, no. Is it?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am. It is clear, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay, we were seeing some DDBC program, right? DDBC MySQL program. It was a very simple one, so you need not worry about it. The programs are easily available on internet, so you need not worry about it. Let me just stop sharing and share you the entire screen. Yeah. Okay, so you can see they have put, so this is the class. So just avoid, guys, having everything inside main. Okay, now this is the practice which you need to avoid at the maximum, and it should not be there into your system now. Now you create a different class. Now you create a different class if you want. Okay, I call it as DB connection. You need to have a practice of having all the functionality into different classes and methods. You get the point? And you can see there are various technology is also mentioned in here, so you can work with that accordingly. Okay, so you write try, let's say for example, function entire screen, right? How will you code for this? Basically, you will go in this format. So whatever imports you require, you import that. So you have got your import statement. I'm not writing it as a whole. Everybody can see my screen, right? My screen is visible to all. Okay, great.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's say if you're working with this, or if you're working with an IDE, let me just show you with IDE first. I must have kept it open before. Okay, so let's say for example, this is the program which I have. Again, I'll be having into my package. So this project requires me to have a database connection into my system. So what I'm going to do a right click and will create a class. Okay, I will name it as the DB connection or DB con, whatever you want to call it. Okay, I'm calling it DB connection, or you can call it a connection, or my SQL connection, or MySQL connection test, whatever you want to call it. Okay, but it needs to have a proper name. And here you will give it a proper name. Let's say you will call it as a DB or database. Okay, for now I'll keep a database. Okay, and let me just finish this. Okay, so now I have a class in here which is also having public static void main, or let me just get rid of this one. Okay, or let me just comment it. Okay. So What I need to do first, I need to open up the connection, okay, as per the statements which are mentioned in there. So this is for registering with the database. So I will basically make use of the constructor. Any initialization task has to come under the constructor. So the registering, that is a step 1 and 2 can fit in here. Am I correct? That means I can have, who is it? Somebody is going on and on. Okay. So I can, everybody can see my screen, right? I can register my database and I can create connection. Yes, we can do that. So if I'm creating and registering, so I will have to declare everything into the class. So that means I will be having things such as, so any which ways, if I am working with MySQL, I need to have the jar for the same. So I need to build path, get external archive. I need to check where I've kept it. Okay. Well, I do have jars with me, but where? Yes. Jar. I've kept it somewhere and I don't remember it where. Come on, search. But I will get locked. Okay, I'll copy this and I'll paste it to my system where I'm supposed to have it. Okay. Here. I can just fetch it from even that is a good idea, but right now I'm not doing that. So this is the connector required. If you don't have this, you cannot work. Okay. So I need to add this connector. So here I need to declare all the stuff. So first of all, what do I need for registering? How am I going to do that? Simple stuff. I'll be writing class. Okay. So class dot for name. So I need to specify the name here. So what is the name? It is com dot mysql
MySQL
dot dc
CG.
dot driver. Okay. So I have actually practiced that many times that I remembered how to work with it. So this is going to give you an exception. So what you need to do is put it into the try and catch block. Yes. And here
Yes,
goes
ma'am.
your catch. And you can have your finally if you want it here. So for now I'm not going to have it here. Okay, so later on, once I create the register my database, I need to go create the connection. So connection will be something which is used by my other method. So I'm going to create connection uh, object reference in here. So I'll say connections, and you can see it is coming automatically. Connection is equal to null because right now I am not going to give it anything. It has to be done in here. We do it some way like this. So sorry, connection dot connection is equal to
This dot
um,
connection.
sorry,
Yeah, yeah.
this
Driver
driver
manager
manager.
dot get connection.
Yes, driver manager dot get connection. So I can have the three things. I can have the URL, comma, the username, and the password.
Password.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I might not be having all the time to show you everything. So I'm just going to give you the structure. Where are you? Where did you go? Okay, so you will pass on the URL which you have in here, the username and password, and all those three inverted commas which you have. Okay, now once this is done, you can have the customized thing that you need, and then here you are going to create the methods. Okay, let's say for example, I want here insert method to be done. So I'll be writing something like public void, and I want to add the employee detail. Let's see the table name which I have, the database which I have is million lights, and I want to have all the employee details. So I'll say add employee. Okay, and there is going to be some employee added to the system. So we can add up things accordingly. Now, what is employee? Employee is your class that you create. Now, why do I need this? And how do you create this? This employee or this is something that you have seen while you were doing encapsulation. Okay, this is a class containing getters and setters. Okay, it is also called as Pojo, plain old Java object, which will be used as a bean throughout your system. So how do you create that? You just create a new class again, package, create a different package, and then do it. Okay, so here you can call it as Pojo, you can call it as Bean, you can call it as model. Okay, so if you're in Spring, it will be called as model. So here, for your basic understanding, I'll call it as Pojo. Okay, because we're not working with Bean right now, and I will call this class as employee. Once I do that, okay, let me know, guys, if you don't follow anything. The reason for having a Pojo class or a Bean class is to provide security to the data members. So let's say if I have a private member called as employee ID, okay, which is of type integer, or maybe I have some name, let's say string emp name. Okay, these are the two things which I have. So I need to do what? I need to protect this data, and whenever I need to fill in the data, I'll be using the object to access the data. Objects method and not directly the variable. A direct access to the variable has to be restricted, which helps me to achieve security, which is done by encapsulation. So now for achieving this, I will be creating a constructor. You know how to create a constructor. A default constructor will work. If not this, then you can go to source, okay, and you can generate constructor from superclass. Okay, if you do this, it is going to generate a a simple constructor for you. Okay, you can keep it here. The other way again, okay, so this it is F, no S. What is the shortcut? This shortcut is going for this one. So if I want to do, let's say for using fields, this is parameterized constructor. So it will be created in this way, automatic. Let's say for example, you want to create getters and setters. That is the ultimate deal to be done. So you go here, you generate getters and setters. You know about this, guys? Yes.
Yes.
Also,
Yes, ma'am.
it is a very good way to have this approach to be followed, wherein you also override a method called as toString. Now, why do you need this? To see at while you're executing the code, you don't have to write get name, set name every time. You can just write, call this to, system.out.println, and you can pass on the employee object. It will give you the employee ID and name automatically. You don't have to actually write everything in there. Okay? You're good with this class? Everybody, this is your bean, this is your Pojo. Yes, people? Are we good with this? Anybody, any kind of doubt? Yes, Venkana, Nandita, Shubham.
Yes.
Yes? You good here?
Yes, ma'am.
That for name the method, what exactly happening there, man? Class dot for
This
name we
method.
have.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. This class.forName method is accepting, it is helping you to register the driver. Register the driver as in, if I want to make a call to you, okay, first a simple thing, okay, I need to have your number, okay, I need to have your a mode with which I need to have a network or an operator to help me communicate with you. So let's say, for example, my operator, my network operator, network provider is Airtel. So that is what I'm going to specify in here. This is my network provider. Okay. Next thing is the connection URL. So here, this particular, so the URL and everything is, the URL is going to be your, what do you call, your phone number. The username and password is, let's say, we don't have that into our normal calling system. You
I-
understand? I need to register the database, which data I'm working with.
Is it
Okay.
same with Oracle database? The format.
Yes,
Yes.
URL is different. If you check, okay, so the driver, the driver class, the driver, you can call it Oracle. Okay, Oracle JDBC.
database.
Okay,
Same.
so you will get the driver names. You have it in Java 3.0. I don't know why am I doing so much of nothing here. If you check, you have it in Java. Okay, you have it, but I know it's not this one. Driver, JDBC driver. JDBC program to program to connect with Oracle. Okay, this is the URL. Oracle driver. Everything remains the same except for here they have got oracle.jdbc. We have com.mysql.jdbc.driver. So if you're working with MongoDB, it is going to be that way. If you're working with PostgreSQL, it is going to be, they're going to have their own. If you're working with SQL Express, which is a MySQL thing, then it is going to be, the driver is going to change. The driver class is going to be in that term. Okay, we
Can
good?
you share some real-time project in the LMS so
Can I
that
say
we
some?
can share some real-time project using all this database connect
I see. I had, but now I don't have access to them. So it was with the company I was working with.
so that we
So
get
maybe
clear picture
your
of it.
yeah, you can talk directly this to your lecturer, right? The person who's there, Veera. You can talk to him, right? You ask questions to him. You can ask him. He can help you out while he's conducting any session. You can ask him to show you some real life examples. If he might be having some, he can show it to you. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
If you found it, please put it on LMS, man.
Sorry.
If you found it, please put it on LMS.
Okay, how can I put a real-time project on LMS? In the real-time things require a lot of stuff, right? So it has to go live and then to put everything. Okay, let me just check. If I get a video which is actually getting you through this JDBC connectivity, then I'll share it with you. Okay, I'll share it onto the channel itself. That will help you. Don't worry, whenever you're going to a company, they will give you the basic training. At least a week training is given to you based on their system, how they work, how to live the project, how to deploy a project into the live system, because there are various environments, right? They have got what do you call, a testing environment, they have got demo environment. Now it depends what they call, they have got technical terms for it, and they also have got live environment where they can deploy their systems. Okay, before actually moving on to it. Okay, so here, okay, so here I
Ma'am, is it
was
mandatory
talking
to
about the
use?
yes,
Ma'am, is it mandatory to use a class data for name to load and register the table?
that is how the programming works. If you're going for a JDBC programming, this is what you do. If you are working with enterprise Java, let's say for example, you're working with Spring or Struts, even then, these four things are going to be there. You need to have the driver class, you need to have the URL, you need to have the username and password. These four things are going to be common. So that is the reason why I'm asking you to, rectify it.
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
get it into your system. These are going to be fixed for a particular database. So if I am working with Spring or maybe Spring Boot, these are into the form of property files. You don't have to write into the class. They are into properties. Okay, if you're working with servlet, you can write to your servlet context into your XML file. Okay, and fetch it whenever you need it. Okay, so it depends. So wherever you're working, things are going to be enhanced, but these four things are always going to be same with respect to your JDBC, because you are connecting to Java database. Because you're connecting your Java programming to
Ma'am,
database. Hence, it is called as JDBC. Yes.
ma'am, in JDBC, suppose we are having multiple databases to work with, like MySQL, Oracle, and PostgreSQL. So it is difficulty to remember all the drivers' name, ma'am. So in that case, so what we
Everything is so you see it depends now. So you can so like I said, you can have a separate file. Okay, let's say for example a project has been created using MySQL. Okay, the project was having MySQL with it, but later on they did some enhancement and now it has got updated on Oracle. Okay, Oracle database. So what are you going to do? You're going to change everything onto the file, or on each and every file. Now it is a difficult thing, right? So instead of doing the changes in all the different files that you have a separate file like I have created one. You have a separate file. You just need to change the driver name or something that you have. Even here, you can create a property file and pass the data in here. So you just need to change that. You just need to remember that and work along with it. Okay. All the driver class name, everything is available on internet. Now, if there's any modification, let's say for example, if I am working with Java 8 and my server and my database server is also 8, then my driver class name becomes com.mysql.cj.jdbc driver. That is how it becomes. So there are going to be some minor modifications. You're going to get everything from the internet. You don't need to worry about that. Yes, you just need to be aware that things are going to be differ based on which versions you're working with. Okay, are we good here, Banka?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, let me just finish this and then I can start with the other batch. So the reason for me to write employee here, I'll just write employee, okay, employee and then employee. So I can simply, if I have to write, I'll say employee dot set employee. I can do that. Okay, set employee ID, set employee name. So in this case, I'm not actually touching my variables, which is helping me to achieve security. Data security is achieved in Java using one way is by using encapsulation. Are we clear? Okay, we're good
Yes, ma'am.
about this. So like you can just check on for all the uh, insert, update, delete operations online, and you can work accordingly. Okay, so I
Okay,
would
ma'am.
request for these 5 people, if you wish, you can stay because I'm going to again work with the core Java for first 5 modules with these people. Otherwise, you can just revise, okay, because you have got a 4 o'clock interview. If you need anything, you can let me know. Yes? So Shubham, Venkana,
Okay.
David, Nandita, and Banka, you guys can go ahead and prepare.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay? If you wish, you can stay. Otherwise, you can utilize this time for your preparations. You have a mock interview at 4 o'clock,
Okay.
as
Today, ma'am.
discussed, as you have received your email. Yesterday, 4. You did not see your email? Go check
Uh,
your email.
okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay.
The
All
questions
the
are from
best.
only core Java.
Well, now it depends on the faculty
5
who is going
module.
to conduct it. First 5. Let's assume it is going to be first 5 modules. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Do you
Okay,
know
ma'am.
Spring, Hibernate, JPA? If no, then they won't be asking you anything on that. Okay. We good here?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. Nice.
Okay. So you can leave. Only 5 people, others please stay. Banka, do you have any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. If you don't, you can prepare for the interview. Okay. So I want Deepika, Pavan, Jyoti, Riaz, and there were some more people, right? Few more people joined. Yeah, Deepika is there. Okay. Okay, great. Guys, just give me 5 minutes. We'll continue. Let the others join as well.
Okay, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
So, Deepika, I have never met you before, so I would like you to introduce yourself to me so that I get to know you.
Sure, ma'am. So, good afternoon, everyone. My First of all, thank you for allowing me to introduce myself. My name is Deepika. Hello, hello.
Yes, yes, please
Uh,
continue. Yes, continue.
and we are in
Con-
the Department of Information Technology at GNRNM Institute of Technology and Science for Women. So, I completed my diploma in the Department of Electronic Communication Engineering in Government Polytechnic Mitchell College, and I have completed my schooling in ZPHS Bolaram in the year of 2016. So with 8.7 GPA, and my diploma percentage is a 87%.
Your voice is cracking. I cannot hear you in between.
Hello, now ma'am.
Yes. Yes.
Hello. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I'm currently pursuing BTech final year at the Department of Information Technology at GNRNM Institute of Technology and Science for Women, which is in Sheikhpet. Uh, and I completed my diploma in the Department of Electronic Communication Engineering at in Government Polytechnical College, and I have completed my schooling in the year of 2016 with 8.7 GPA in ZPHS Bollaram. So this is my
Okay, great.
education.
So, 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 so you are familiar with the concepts of programming, am I correct? You know Core
Yes,
Java,
ma'am.
Advanced Java?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So, Sirisha, can you introduce yourself? It was I we never got to talk with you. Can you introduce? Switch on your camera so
Thank
that
you,
even
ma'am.
others can. Yes,
Yeah,
you're
ma'am.
welcome. Yeah.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
You
First of
need to
all,
keep your camera on, Deepika. Yeah, please continue. I'm so sorry to disrupt. Please
okay,
continue.
ma'am. First of all, thank you for giving opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Sirisha. I am from Mongol. I am graduated in electronics and communication engineering. Mm, I belong to nuclear family. Father, mother, me, sister. My hobbies is reading books, listening music, and cooking. My strengths are hardworking, self-motivated,
Okay. We'll get through your strengths. Okay, wonderful. Okay, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but I'll have a one-to-one interview with you later. I just wanted to know whether you are familiar with the technology or not. Are you familiar with all the technologies like Core Java, Advanced Java? Do you know about these, or you are a beginner to this thing?
beginner. Ma.
Are you a beginner or okay? Fine. So, guys, so now let me tell you the process which we are trying to follow in here because we have got different crowds. Okay, we have got people who are already pro in these technologies, and we already have people who know how to work with these technologies. While on the other hand, I also have people who are starting up fresh, who are trying to get a new start. okay, and trying to adjust with all the systems that they have been given. So what we will be doing here is we'll be polishing all your core Java, your first 5 modules here in this session, in the second half session which we have. Once you qualify these 5 modules, you will be moving ahead for the previous batch. Like you must have seen in the previous batch, we were talking about the advanced topics. Okay, once you're done clear with the basics, then we'll be moving on to those advanced topic. And very importantly, it is required by you to talk, to communicate with me and reply to me. You get me, Jyoti? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, make sure that you're talking. If you are not talking, if you are not asking me questions, if you are not replying to my questions, then this won't be a helpful program that we are trying to conduct it here. Okay? Are we good? Yes. So for
Yes, ma'am.
people, those who were there before, I was having Riaz and Pavan before as well, but Riaz was not responding, so I expect him to talk this time.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
And Pavan, yeah, you Pavan, now you need to be more technically sound. Okay. Now, let me tell you guys. Now, this preparation is basically for DXC. DXC is the company for which we are hiring in here. You need to polish your skill for this company, and they will be having an interview accordingly. What is required at your end is to get more and more conceptual and implementations from your end. Okay, now what I mean by this is you don't have to do everything. Okay, you know that Java is huge. Okay, it is Java is not only into console development, console applications. It is also in mobile application. It is also in Java Bean application. It is also there for enterprise level applications. Okay, so here we are only going to focus on standard edition, which deals with console, wherein the output is displayed onto the console. And the second thing is with enterprise. Enterprise, as in we are going to deal with frameworks such as Spring. Yes, you're aware about this. Everybody, do you know what Spring is? Yes? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I will be going a bit slow, okay? And if in case you think that you don't understand a particular concept, then you can let me know. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So like before going for that, I would like to ask some questions, okay? Some question to Jyoti. Okay? So
Yes.
Jyoti, how good are you in Java?
I know the basics and OOPS concepts, collection. Some of the topics I know, ma'am. Means
Okay, so you know threads.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So can you tell me the difference between wait and notify?
Ma'am.
Wait and notify.
Um,
So we'll go through the basics. The first question answers everything. Okay. Deepika, question to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you tell me what is an iterator?
Iterator, yeah, iterator, which it displays zero when we'll go to method iterations like in the code. If we want to go to some other method or anything else, like
Okay. Okay, so Sirisha. Well, Deepika, you're not correct. I'll be very frank in here. If you're not
repetition,
correct,
ma'am.
then you are
It
not
was
meant to be told.
like a
Where
repetition
is
of a
it used?
process. Oh,
Iterator. What is an iterator? Iterator is an interface which is present in collection interface, collection framework. It is that iterator I was talking about. Do you know about this? No, right? That is what we are going to go through. That is what we are going to polish in here. Don't worry. Okay? Now, Sarisha, you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is unchecked exception?
Unchecked. The class inheritance that the runtime error. Runtime error.
Runtime?
Error.
Runtime what? I don't get the last word.
The class inheritance the runtime error now.
Okay. So how do you handle unchecked exception?
Yes, ma'am.
Your camera is gone. Switch on your camera and your mic. Don't worry, everybody is going to make mistakes. That's okay. Don't be afraid. Just talk. Sarisha, chill. That is all I can say. Never mind. Okay, so now, shall we start with what you should prepare if you're working with these technologies 1 to 5? Okay, so let me just share my screen to you. I have shown this to two of you already, but I would like to show you guys again because if you have any doubt, we can get through it. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Let me check. I'm not getting this window here. Yeah. All right. Good. Okay. So if you prepare from what I am talking here, it is going to be, you know, a lot of help to you because I cannot exactly predict what the interviewer is going to ask you. Okay, I cannot give you the exact statement, although I can prepare you for what might come. Okay, might is always going to be there. Okay, let's say if I'm saying that the person is only going to ask you a question on thread, and if he does not, then that is going to be a problem, right? But I am saying that these concepts are there, which are very oftenly asked by the interviews. These are very famously known, should be known by the candidates to be selected into an interview by an interviewer. You get my point? Yes? Sirisha, switch on your camera.
Yes.
Okay, so you can see these are the topics which we have. So I have got first FC1, wherein I've got these 5 concepts. If you clear these 5 concepts, at least you know 90%. Okay, let's say you know 80% of it. It is only then you are going to go to the next batch, which you can see here for next 5 modules. And it is only after that you will be pushed on to mock interviews by Vimal sir. Okay, you get the point? So after you have been approved by Vimal, only then you will be going for the DXC interviews. So I won't approve until and unless I'm not sure about your knowledge. And then you won't be approved by the other person if he is not sure about your knowledge. So if you're not sure what you need to do, just work hard. If it requires you to do more practice, do it. If you require my intervention, ask for it. Okay, if you need me, you can talk to me. Okay, like Pavan is, one some of the other time asking me some other questions, but he's interacting with me. Likewise, I would require Jyoti, Deepika, and of course Riyaz, who is there but not talking at all, to talk to me. Yes,
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
you get the point, guys. Unless
Okay,
and until
ma'am.
you won't talk, I won't get to know what you need. What is your problem? What is the barrier? Okay, is there anyone who has already been for an interview? Yes?
Yes, ma'am. I
Did you get?
have given an
Okay,
interview.
so what were the questions asked?
Basics of Python.
Basics of Python. Okay, Python, again, a wonderful technology. What was asked?
Uh, some syntax, some questions about syntax, and also what we say declarations and initializations of variables in Python.
Yes, a Python is a free-form language, okay? So you don't have to worry about the database declaration like we do in C, C++, and Java. Okay, so you can just directly declare a variable, okay? Just you write a is equal to 10. It will automatically describe the type to be of integer. But here in Java, we need to write int a is equal to 10 now. So right now, we need to focus on Java. Python is altogether a very different stuff, okay? So you were posing some issue, right? You were posing some problem. Did you get selected for that interview?
No, ma'am, I didn't select because due to lack of complete knowledge on Python, I didn't select.
Exactly. So it is not that you will be knowing everything about it. Why? I say even I don't know everything about the technology. Why am I saying so? Because the Java that I know is SE8 and the Java which is there into the market is 16. Do you find the difference? It is 8 lakh difference, 8 version difference. Yes, you get the point.
Yes,
So to be updated is to have experience. Why am I only sticking to 8 now? Because 8 has got a major version modification which was required and which people are using still into the market. If we talk about 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, now these are owned by Oracle and they are paid version. So I'm with the free ones now. And they have got some, you know, um, upgradations based on the versions they are describing, they are publishing, and the companies who is opting for that version. Okay, most of the time the companies stick to it, but if they are moving on to the higher versions, they will be giving you, or they will be, providing you the materials for the same. If not, then you can always have a resource online to upgrade your skills. You get the point? So you should be having at least one level to talk to. Okay, so to upgrade my skills, I have purchased a book. Okay, I did purchase a book. Now at the time of having internet, I am still uh, going by the book, is because book is something which gives you more knowledge than what these blogs give you. Blogs are going to be very, very superficial. They are not going to give you everything, but they will give you what is required. Not exactly, but what is required for you to pass at that particular point. Yes. So you should have something. You have got online PDFs that you can refer to. You can, so you can read ebooks. Google provides ebook that you can read, and that too free of cost, but you cannot download it. Okay, there are many resources that you can look up to if you wish to upgrade your skills. Okay, that's okay, Sarisha. Make sure that you at least switch on your camera. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I can hear my own voice.
okay. Yeah, I can hear my own voice.
Yes, ma'am.
Mute yourself, please.
Yes, ma'am. Mute yourself, please.
So that is how I sound. Can you mute?
So that is how I.
Okay, I'm sharing this. Okay, so for Java, what you need to prepare. This is the basics of Java. You need to prepare for these Java packages, classes, methods. Okay, you do this. Now, I would like to ask you people, how many of you are familiar with these and you don't have any issue? Everybody good with this? So you know how to create Java package, what is a class, what is a method, okay? Single dimension array, multi-dimension arrays, arrays, class in Java, yeah, string handling functions like .char add, .index off, then concat, then you have join, substring, there are many functions in string, then string builder class, string buffer class, loops, for loop, while loop, do while loop, yes, switch case. Are you aware about these things? Do you know how to work with these? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Somewhat, yes, ma'am.
So if you find that I am not replying to you, so please chat with me, because many a time I'm not able to hear you. So you will have to talk it out or maybe chat it out to me. Okay? Because I can hear people talking, but I don't understand you. Maybe because of the network connectivity issue. So you will have to chat with me. Okay. So let me just start with something basic to explain you. Okay, I'm sharing my whole screen now this time to tell you what I want when you are doing your programs. Do you see my entire screen? Is my
Yes, ma'am.
screen visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Before I start with anything, okay, I want you all to go through the e-learning videos, okay, or the recorded session of Vida. Okay, make sure that all of you have at least watched those videos. Is there anybody who has not been or who has not watched the LMS videos, the videos which are present on LMS? Yes, Sirisha, did you go through the videos? Yes, Deepika, the videos,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
videos.
We have
Yes,
gone
ma'am.
through.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Videos. We have gone through. Okay, great. If you have, then not a big deal. So you will find it. Okay, you'll find it here if you check. These are the lecture recordings which you might find in here. So all the days lecture recordings are there and you can just use it. Yeah, you can just
Yes, ma'am.
listen to them, and if you have any doubt you can come back to me. Okay, and these are all your modules that you find here. So let's say for example this is the first module I'm talking about, of which you will have all the videos associated with it. Now these videos are very important, very good for you to upskill or upgrade yourself as per the company requirement. Are we good? Okay, make sure you go through it. Okay,
Yes.
so now whenever you're talking about Java, Java has got various J's, that is JDK, JVM, JRE, JIT. Okay, you should be knowing all the J's. Okay, JDK is the software that you install, that you download and install into your system. JRE is the runtime environment which is present inside your JDK software, whereas JVM is your system or the virtual machine which is present inside your environment, that is your JRE. And this JRE not only consists of JVM, it also consists of compiler. It also consists of various other like libraries which are required by which are required for your programming. Okay, so JDK comprises JRE. JRE consists of a JVM, compiler, and all the libraries for your programming. Okay. Apart from that, you should be knowing how to set path. You know how to set path in Java. You can go to the environment variables, okay, and set your path. This is your environment variable. You can set the path for your Java. If you can check in here, I have set the Java path. This is class path which you have. You can edit it and check. Okay, and then you also have your path where you can set your Java. This is my Java JDK. I'm using version 8281. Okay, I've given the path of my bin. This was for user variable. You can also set the same for your system variable. So whenever I try to, why am I doing that? So whenever I write command prompt, whenever I try to open and I wish to check the version of Java, and if I type Java, it is going to give me everything. Yes, Java is presented to my system. Yes, how do you check the version? You write, sorry, Java hyphen version. Yes, so it will give you everything. This says that Java JDK version this has been successfully downloaded and installed and ready to work on the go. So this, unless and until you don't set the path, this eclipse is not visible to you. Yes, you get the point?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay, great. So everything that you do in Java is based on class. Okay, so you need a class to work. So let's say, for example, I'm having class. So class is a keyword. It has to be in smaller case or lower case. So I write, let's say, demo. This class is always having this. Okay, always having bracket. A class is a collection of data members and member functions. So I can have all the members. Data members are nothing but your, what is a data member? What is a data member? The variables, like let's say int I, or let's say string name. Yes, a class can have one or more methods into it. Okay, it is not necessary it is going to be public static void main. It can be anything. So in our case, let's say for example, I'm keeping public, okay, void, or let's say display. Okay, it may or may not have return type. Return type is this, or it may or may not have parameter list, which is this. Yes. Let me know if I'm going very fast. Let me know if you want me to slow down. Let me know if you want to. If it does not make any sense if I slow down, because all the e-learning videos are going to help you to accomplish. I'm just going quickly through this. If you need anything, just let me know. If you say
Okay.
that you know this, I won't get through this. Is everybody aware how to create a class, how to create all the variables, how to create the method?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Great. So it
Ma'am,
is okay that I can
ma'am,
also have a main method. Yes.
ma'am, one small note.
Tell me.
When you are taking the mock interview, you have asked me that why we enter public, why we mention that public void and static in Java.
I'm not able to hear you, Riaz. Can you be a bit louder? And your network is also gone. Can you talk again? Can you chat with me? Chat will be fine because I think you lost your connection. Okay. So the basic. So you should be knowing how to create a class. You should be knowing how to create a package, how to create a method. So you'll be having questions on main. So you'll be having question like, can you override main method? Can you have main method in such other format? You can make it final. Can you make it non-static? And a lot many um, versions. Okay. Questions on class, object, and constructors. Arrays. Arrays are 1D, 2D. You know what is a 1D array? Yes?
One dimensional, two dimensional.
Yes, wherein you just have x axis. Okay, you just have 0, 1, 2, 3, the index numbers, which helps you to identify the elements in the array. Array is a continuous block of memory location. Okay, so whenever you create an array, it is going to continuously allocate continuous allocate memory to the variable that you have declared as an array. Why we mention public static void main in Java program? Yes. Okay, so I frequently ask this question, or this question has been frequently asked. Why do we make use of public static void main in Java and not just main like C or C++? The basic reason here is that main is a method, because everything that we write or everything that we do in Java is within class. So even if I have to write main, I will have to write inside a class. Okay, I cannot write it outside the class because it is Java. This is how we work, because it is an object oriented programming language. So now if I want to recognize this main method outside my class, so who is going to call this main method? Like, main method is an entry point to the code. So whenever I wish to write anything, I wish to execute anything, I call it inside my main method. Okay, so how does this work? So let's say for example, I have a method employee, e is equal to new employee, and I'm saying e dot display employee. So this display employee class is a different class which is present in Java, the object of which I am defining inside my main method. Okay, So I want this main to be executed by the compiler. My compiler, my JVM is going to first search for the execution, the main method. Okay, so main method has to be public to the compiler or my JVM. It has to be static. Static. The reason for making static, my main method static, is so that it becomes a class level member. When I say class level, I don't have to create an object of my class and then call the main method, like how we normally create an object and call the method. We don't have to do that for main. Okay, this will be called automatically if I have a static associated with it. And void means I don't have a return type for main. My main is just used for calling all other stuff for my project. Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
are we good here? Okay. Okay, so next is let me show you some OOP concept, okay, that you should be knowing about. Okay, so this was your Java basic concept. These are your when you say loops, the questions that might be asked for you, maybe some output based question, what is going to be the output for so and so loop that has been created for you, or series and patterns. Series and patterns, let me show you an example for series and patterns. SERIES, series programming. Questions and solution. I can share you this. So write a program to find sum of series. Sum of series, which is this, sum of series, which is this. So there are so many series. You can see, and the solution
Yes,
for the
ma'am.
same is there. You can also see print series. Okay, let me share this. A wonderful example to work with series. Please keep all these with you. Whatever I'm sharing, please have a note for the same. Okay. Series is basically series or patterns or something which helps you to exercise your logic. Okay. The company is going to check your logic. The company is going to check whether you are able to create a particular program or not. Okay. You should be able to crack a code given. You should be able to do that by, so how you're going to do that? By having a lot of practice. So these series, these programs give you a lot of practice to work along. You get my point? Yes. So this was series. The other thing that you have is patterns. This is for your reference, huh, guys. They are not going to ask you exactly these. They can ask you anything. Pattern, 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 pattern. Okay, the pyramids, star pattern. You can see here half pyramid of alphabets and so on. This isn't say you can make it in Java, not a very big deal. Okay, again patterns you can see. Wow, there's so many. Yeah, please keep note of this. Keep note with me so that whenever you need next time, I have it. So moving on again. So this is the Java concept. So you know Java is based on the four basic pillars or the concept that is of OOP. So you need to know abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. So everything revolves around this. So if your this foundation is clear, you will be able to go through these. Okay, the other part of core Java. Get the point,
Yes.
guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So can anybody tell me apart from Pavan and Riaz, You know it already, right? So you were there for the session before. The reason why I have asked you to sit for the session again is Pawan was having some doubt. Okay, so by any chance, if I'm going through these concepts and you come across something that you wish to ask me, you can let me know because you are at the beginner level. And Riaz, you are in the session because you don't never talk. So make sure you ask me questions. Now you have asked me questions. Wonderful. Make sure you have questions and I can answer to it. I can reply to it. Am I clear to Pavan and Riaz?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes. Yes.
So females, shall we continue? Jyoti, Sarisha and Deepika.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so can anybody tell me the difference between interface and abstract class? Difference between interface and abstract class. No one?
Ma'am,
No.
abstract class doesn't support multiple inheritance, but the interface supports multiple inheritance.
Wonderful. Yes, that is correct. And somebody else? Yes?
Allows
If you
us to create a functionality, ma'am.
Who? Abstract or interface?
Abstract.
And inheritance does what?
Inheritance is the process of acquiring the features from a parent class.
Acquiring features from the parent class. Okay. So we don't do that with abstract? We don't do that with abstract?
No, ma'am.
Are
That
you
is
sure?
inherit.
That is inherit.
That is inheritance, which I told.
That is
Interface.
inheritance. I told.
Interface means it only allows us
Interface.
define a functionality.
Interface
Okay.
means it only allows us. Sirisha, can you mute yourself because it is quite repeating. Okay.
Ma'am, abstract class have final and non-final static variables, ma'am. In interface, there is only static and final variables.
Okay. Great. Anything else?
And abstract will not support multiple inheritance, I think.
Why do you think? Why is that you think it won't support multiple inheritance?
Because we can declare a class to a single inheritance, and that right. Multiple means we have multiple subclasses.
What? In multiple inheritance, we have got multiple subclasses.
Multiple times we'll acquire the features from a parent class, ma'am.
So
Like
you will
one
have
parent
multiple
class, two subclasses.
subclasses. Huh?
One parent
One
class.
parent class, two subclass is not multiple inheritance. Am I correct? One superclass and two subclasses. Is it multiple inheritance? Yes, Jyoti.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it multiple inheritance?
Ma'am, can you repeat again, ma'am?
One superclass and two subclass. Is it multiple inheritance?
No, ma'am.
Then what it is? Which type of inheritance it is? Pavan and Riaz. One superclass and two subclasses. I give you 1 minute time. Google and give me the answer quickly. 1 minute.
Ma'am, one class inherits multiple classes. From the one class, we'll get two subclasses.
Again, you're framing your statement differently. There are two superclasses and one subclass, then it is multiple inheritance.
Okay.
Okay, so if you want to frame the statement, a single class inherits two superclass. Superclass, parent class. Yes, do you get the point?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it is something like this. My screen, I'm sharing my screen, right? Am I? Am I not? My screen visible to all?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm not able to share. Okay, Chrome is not responding for the first time. Is my screen visible to you?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
But this will end up. Okay. Am I visible?
Yes, ma'am.
But my screen is all gone. It is not responding. just try connecting again. Okay. Now this is taking more than required time. Let me
Okay,
just
ma'am.
try connecting again.
Okay.
Hello. Can you hear me, people?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Okay, fine. Still, this is not working fine for me, but let's just finish this off. I'm sharing my screen again. So these are all the topics which we need to talk about. Okay, so they will be asking you questions such as what is the difference between abstract class and interfaces? What what happens if you make a particular method abstract? Can you instantiate an object of an interface or an object of an abstract class? Okay, then the encapsulation comprises of access specifiers, something called as getters and setters. Okay, when I say for access specifiers, it includes public. Okay, can you name some?
Private. Public,
Yes, public,
private,
Private,
protected.
protected, default.
protected, and default.
Default.
Right, default is something which is by default. Okay, if I don't specify any access specifier, it is going to be a default one. Okay, so public is accessible everywhere, private is accessible only within the class. Okay, a
Yes.
private member, let that be a constructor, a method, a variable, or anything, it cannot be accessed outside the class where it has been defined. Okay, if I say protected, protected is something which if declared in a superclass can be accessed only by your subclass or within the package. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Or also for subclass which is in some other package and by not any other package. Okay, inheritance in Java is achieved using extends keyword and implements keywords. When I say extend keyword, it is for single class inheritance. When I say implements, it is for more than one class inheritance. When I say extends, okay, let's just add some more details in here. This will conclude. Okay, extend is for single class. Single class in the sense single parent class. Single parent class. For that, I make use of extend keywords. Okay, so what the example for single parent class is single inheritance, single inheritance. Then you have got multi-level inheritance, and then
Multiple.
hierarchical inheritance. Multiple inheritance is here. That is what I'm saying. It is a multi-parent class. Okay, multi-parent class. For multi-parent class, or I would rather say class or multi-parents, by using class or by using interfaces, for that we make use of uh, okay, this is multiple inheritance. Then you have got hybrid inheritance. Hybrid inheritance is a combination of one or two. Okay, this is one of the problems which has been introduced in your multiple or your hybrid inheritance. You get this? Yes? Anybody? Any doubt? Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, ma'am.
You're allowed to correct me. Okay? Polymorphism. So in inheritance, they might ask you questions such as, why is multiple inheritance not supported in Java? Multiple inheritance is supported in C and C, sorry, in C++, but not explicitly in Java. So if I have to do multiple inheritance in Java, I will have to make use of implements and I will have to make use of interfaces. I cannot make use of class for multiple inheritance. Why? Because it generates the problem of ambiguity. Ambiguity is a problem of compiler confusion. Compiler is confused if, let's say, for example, I've got two parent classes. Okay, I've got a parent class called as A and a parent class called as B. Each of them have got method called as get. Okay, A has got a method get, B has got a method get. Okay, now this both these classes are inherited by C. So if I say I'm overriding get, to which get method I'm overriding here? Is it from class A or from class B? So this is a confusion for the compiler. So to avoid such confusion, it is not recommended to have multiple inheritance by using class. So for doing that, I can make one class and I can make one interface. So how is this going to solve the problem of ambiguity? So if I'm saying that I'm extending a class and I'm inheriting or implementing an interface, so if I try to write or override a get method into my C class, it is always going to be my interface get method which has been overridden in my C class. So the ambiguity is gone. You get the point here? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
The ambiguity issue is gone. Do you get me, Pavan and Riaz? The ambiguity problem. Why multiple inheritance is not supported in Java? The problem is compiler confusion, which is also known as ambiguity. Okay. Then you have polymorphism. Polymorphism is of two type, which is static polymorphism and dynamic polymorphism. So when I talk about static polymorphism, it is overloading, and when I talk about dynamic polymorphism, it is overriding and dynamic method dispatch. Okay, we have spoke about this before as well, but let me just show it to you again. Let's say for example, notepad plus. Let's say for example, I have a class here, and the class name is class A. Okay, this particular thing has got a method called as print. Okay, I'm having int a is equal to 10, and it has got a method, let's say public void print. Okay, this print is supposed to print me the value of a, so I'm simply keeping it this way, or let's say a plus a. This is what I'm having here. Okay, so now I also have class B, so I say class B, and I am having some, let's say int b is equal to, let's say, 20. And how I'm just, don't go with the spelling, please understand my emotions in here. If I'm making a spelling mistake, try to understand that that is what it is supposed to be. Okay, so here I'm trying to say b plus b, or let's say if I want to do a plus b, what am I going to do here? I am going to simply extend class A into my class B so that I can write this in here. Yes, do you get this? This is
Yes, ma'am.
possible. Only I extend A. Okay. Now, what am I doing? In, let's say this is my class, one more class I have, and this has got main method. So I will have to write the whole thing. I write public static void main. Okay, and you also have string of args. Okay, nobody asked me why do we have string of args. What is the strings of args for? Yes,
You're passing a number
yes,
of
Jyoti.
arguments.
Jyoti, what the string of args? Do you know it? Yes, do you know it? Yes, Deepika, you were saying? Basically, when we execute our code, if at that point of time I want to pass some input to my main method, then I can do it by using string of args. Okay, if I'm making use of compiler, of my command prompt. Okay, so while compiling, I make in my command prompt, I write uh, uh, okay, let's say for example, Java C and then some XYZ dot Java. This is called as compiling. Okay, I am not having XYZ, so it will give me an error. Okay, so let's say for example, I want to execute the code. So I will write Java and then XYZ after the class file has been generated. Okay, so that will produce an output whatever I've written in my public static void main. So at this point of time, if I try to pass any value, let's say I pass 1 or I try to pass space and then I try to pass some other value. So the value which you see 1 and Neha, this will go inside my args, string of args. So args of 0 is going to have value 1. Args of 1 is going to have value as Neha and it is going to be of type string. So you can convert it later and use it according to your requirement. That is the usage. Okay. Now next is so now this that you see here, okay, print void a plus b. Oh, this is not how you write it. Can I say? Okay, this is how you write a method, right? System dot out dot println SOPLN. You know what is this,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So I'm trying to print the value. Yes, Pawan, is it known what is SOPLN?
It's
What is it?
system.out.println. It is the keyword. It is the statement which is used for execution in Java.
Okay, now a very good question. Okay, can you tell me what is the significance of writing with such a big deal? Okay, why do I have to write system.out.println? Again, one of the important questions.
Because James Gosling has designed for any output, there's a output should be produced by system.out.println is designed, and if any, what we say in case of scanner read, there is system.in which is being values being fed to the system, or what we say that scanner statement system.in is being introduced.
Yes. So if you see this whole thing, the reason for writing, system is a class in Java. Okay, object is a class in Java. Class is a class in Java. System is a class in Java. All these classes are present. All these classes are present inside your lang package. Okay, lang language package. Okay, now this out is an instance variable, or it is both a variable as as well as an instance, a variable of system class, whereas an instance of print writer class. Okay, so print is a method which is present in your print writer class, which is a stream class which is present in Java. Okay, so print is something which is going to help you to print the output into the string value. So to concatenate two different things like the system and your print, system is present in lang package and print is present in your IO package. So to concatenate this, we make use of this out. So we write this whole statement as system.out.println and whatever you want to print there. You get the point? Yes. Okay. So now, if you see here, I already have this public void print and I'm extending the class here and writing public void print here. That means this concept is called as overriding. Yes, I'm overriding, redefining the method into my subclass or into my child class is called as overriding. Let's say, for example, here I'm having one more print method. Okay, but here I have got, let's say, int x. Okay, now I'm writing something over here, x plus a. Okay, this is called as overloading. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no? Okay, great. So now, if I call something like this, okay, let's say, for example, if I'm writing a1 is equal to new a. Okay, if I write a1 dot print, okay, so this particular method, it is understood that this object is going to call this method, and which is this one, okay, which is this one. So this is called as a static polymorphism. Okay, do you understand static polymorphism, wherein I know it is a static thing? Okay, the same class object you're supposed to call the method present in it. If I try to write bb1 is equal to new b, okay, and b1 dot print, what is this going to do? Even this is a static polymorphism. Yes, because it is calling the print method which is present in its class. What if I try to do this? Yes, what is this going to call? Which method is going to be called from this statement? This method.
Uh,
Yeah, how? Because class B extends class A. So all the members which are present in class A are accessible by B. So if I try to write something like this, it is going to call the method from that class. Yes? So this is something, if I write anything, if I write print or if I write print and the value 10, because it is overriding the method from your previous class, it is going to be dynamic polymorphism. And there is one more way of writing dynamic polymorphism, that is, I can write a2 is equal to new b, okay, and I write a2 dot print. Can you tell me which print method will be called? Yes, from which class, class A or class B? The print method will be called from class A or class B?
CA.
No, it will be called from B because the object instance is created for B. You get the point? Yes? This instance, the memory location which has been allocated is for B, and hence the print method will be called from the B class. Yes? This is called as dynamic dispatch. Okay? Dynamic method dispatch or dynamic dispatch. Okay? This is dynamic polymorphism. Overriding, overriding and dynamic method dispatch are these. Okay? Likewise, you have got a lot of others that you can refer to. I've given some set of questions. Okay? And I will be passing on to you guys as well. Okay? So those who are present, okay, like, so I have to give only the three people, Jyoti, Deepika, and others. Let me show you what questions I'm talking about. I've got a questionnaire that you can follow. So I've tried to filter out some and you can go through it. Okay, this is for Core Java. I've got a 50 question set, 51. These are for questions, and you can see for the right hand side, they are your programs. Okay, so I want you to be thorough with this right hand side programs that we have. There are 29 questions. If you want, at least 25 questions are to be known by you. You should be knowing how to write down the logic at your end. Okay? If you need anything, you can let me know. I am there available on Slack to help you out for the same. Are we
Ma'am,
good here?
ma'am,
Yes?
when I was not
You can
found some answers, like how do we create a thread safe singleton in Java?
How do we create?
Thread safe singleton in Java.
Thread safe singleton in Java. Where do I have that? Question number? Can you tell me the question number?
28, ma'am. 28.
Okay, so first of all, it is not a program, it is a question. Okay, so can if you don't understand a particular question, what you need to do is break it down. Okay, first you need to know what is singleton, then you need to find out what is thread safe. Yes, so here, if you check for singleton, have you heard about singleton before, or this is something new for you? Yes,
New for me, ma'am.
new for you, right? So it is nothing but a design practice, a design pattern that is followed. Okay, so when I just searched for it, I got it automatically because I was searching for that particular topic. If you check, I'm sending you the link. Okay, it is from Journal Day. Journal Day. Thread safe in Java singleton classes. What is this saying? It is saying that singleton is one of the most. It is a creational design pattern which helps you to restrict the object from being overridden. That means you cannot inherit a particular class if the constructor has been declared as private. Yes, you can declare a constructor to be private to restrict it from getting restrict any other class from creating an object of it. Yes. So if you want to restrict that, at that point of time, you make use of thread safe. That means only one thread can access it. Yes, and it is going to be thread safe as in no thread can be created for the same. Okay, and it is singleton, a single class without any object. You get the point? Yes. Always try to break the question and then answer it. Okay. I will be forwarding you these questions, okay, or I'll put these on LMS, okay, so this will be much easier for all of you to work with, okay. I'll be putting the questions on LMS and you can access them, okay. These are going to be frequently asked interview questions on each of the domains or for each of the modules. Are we good here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else? Shall we end up the session here?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Okay. So we shall meet tomorrow or maybe after that. Yeah, tell me. We'll meet on Monday
can
now.
we take the screenshot of the topics, ma'am?
You want to take a screenshot? Sure. I just closed it.
Ma'am,
Yes.
will you share the Excel sheet of all topics like, that you have created?
I'll share everything on the LMS if you wait. For if you give me today's time, I'll just create a lesson and share everything to you guys. Because I need to add for next 5 module as well, so that might take some time. So for now, you can just take a screen capture so that it is easy for you.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay,
You
ma'am.
take a screen
Okay,
capture
ma'am.
later on. You can take it. Okay, so this is
Okay, ma'am.
the whole of the module which we are talking about. You are in this. Okay. Let me know when the screen capture is done. Create a Word document and add up everything in there. Done? Can I move on to the next one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The next one. This is basic Java. Done?
Done, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Can we move on to the next one? OOP Java. Next one, SQL.
Done, ma'am.
HTML, HTML, CSS, JavaScript.
Done, ma'am.
And that's it. For now, I want you to go with this. Later on, we'll discuss about this other stuff. Okay? I'll be uploading
Okay, ma'am.
everything on LMS once I have everything in place. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. See you guys on Monday, I suppose. Now it is we are going to be there for Monday. Okay, so Pavan and Riaz will be practicing more because you guys are still not prepared for the interview. Okay, so that is the reason why your mock interview was not scheduled for today. Okay, and so your further interview has been, you know, has been has been pushed ahead so that you can prepare thoroughly. Yes, am I clear to both
Ma'am,
of you?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
ma'am, how many mock interviews will be there, ma'am?
Now it depends on how many rounds you can clear.
Ma'am,
Yes.
when we
So
expect a final interview?
when you are ready, when I think you are ready. Okay. So as and when you talk to me here, as and when you can show me how you can write your code, okay. If I have get confidence from you that you are actually able to do some stuff, then you will be ready for the interview. Yeah. This is your first session, right? Let's talk more and then we'll decide. At least one or two more session will be required for me to judge you. You know Spring Hibernate?
Can you repeat once again, ma'am?
Do you know Spring Hibernate technologies?
No, ma'am.
So it is quite some time for you. Okay, finish up your Java thoroughly. Okay, do it very nicely. Follow Java T point. Follow tutorial point. Follow W3 schools. These are the websites which are there to help you out because we want to do something in a matter of month, in the time of a month, which is next to having a knowledge of so many books. So you need something which is to the point and will give you the right information. So I'm asking you to follow these websites. If you have any other references, you can follow that too. Okay? So we'll meet next on Monday. Okay? Or whatever the schedule is happening. Okay? Let's go ahead with this. See you all guys on Monday. Bye.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you,
Bye,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.